see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, He will fight the battle for you. And He will fight it without, because He will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, He will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before Him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true. It's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thanks for tuning in on this fine Thursday already. What the? It's a fine Thursday to be back and to see all of you in the chat. Okay, I see you. I see you coming in. What's up, Steve? Nice to see you, man. But of course, everybody else. I've elevated a single chat person, and now everyone's going to turn on him. No. Hello to everybody else, too. How you doing, everybody? All my viewers on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. And of course, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. How you doing, everybody? I'm looking at my Rumble people here. You guys are saying Rumble is spinning. Rumble's been garbage since the year started, says my viewers are saying over there on the Rumble chat. Let me know what's going on. You're saying like a Rumble-wide thing? Like not... They're declining? Is it DEI at Rumble? We appreciate them anyways. And, of course, you guys stretching your legs there. So let me know whatever happens. If you have any issues at all, you're always welcome to watch the show on punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, where I am live. And, of course, my viewers on YouTube, if you like the party, come on in, say hello, and show a little decorum on this. In these times of chaos, don't be rude. I mean, you can be. I'm not going to take it personally. Personally, like, it's no big deal. You know, you've heard, they'll call me and call me names to my face or to my ears or whatever. It's no biggie. It's no biggie. So you don't have to show decorum. You can hate your life and decide to be in your misery. You can hold on to your hell. Okay? You can be one with the devil himself. Or you can click the like button. I mean, it's up to you, really. No skin off my back. But welcome. How you doing Thursday? It's a nice Thursday. And what can I say? We got a couple things to get into. It's 888-775-3773 if you got something on your mind, something you want to talk about. Incredible. Amazing. So how you doing? How you doing? Is that, I don't know how to say your name, but you're making me think of someone. A friend? Chaggett? Is that you? I'm sorry. You guys are like extra today. How you doing? Welcome. I saw someone say something like that on Punchy. Am I looking like a slob? You guys are saying, hey, take a shower. Hey, shave your beard. Fair enough. Hey. I thought I was suave. I'm just a troll. How you doing? You're my internet trolls. I'm your internet troll leader. Okay. Better than you. Okay, look. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I want to jump into some of this stuff here. If you got stuff on your mind, you can call in 888-775-3773. Friday's tomorrow. Thursday's here. Fallen State tomorrow and all that. The week went by fast. Yeah, but that's not true. Kill the ego. So, stuff going on. Look, Minneapolis in chaos again. So, I'm literally not Francisco. Sorry, let's move on. Let's leave the chat alone. I like messing around with the chat. Okay. Thank you, Old Saucy. Slave to him. How you doing? Welcome. I see. Where the video freezes up. Just freezes in over there on Rumble for some reason. Again, if you're having issues, that's punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. Got the meat sweats. You would know. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, put some respect on the Anchor Baby's name. It's bad enough. It's like, you would know. You would know if I had the meat sweats. So, sorry, how you doing, him Diddy? Welcome. So, anyways, how about we having ourselves a nice little loosey-goosey Thursday show before we have just a chill stream Friday tomorrow. I mean, I say we run it down some of this news because within the news and then besides the news, we got some interesting things. We just got to get going, you know? We just got to get going. And I sometimes look at the news, I'm like, okay, it's like, let's touch on Minneapolis again, right? And as you might know, they popped off last night again to some degree. You know, it's my opinion that these crowds, this rioting or so over ICE is far tamer, or let me say, far smaller in size than the George Floyd stuff. But, you know, those that are out there are a particularly violent, reckless, or some combination of has no idea how the world works and is emotionally activated. And you got to understand what the people got activated over. What this is about. What are we fighting for? And I do a big old quotation marks because I don't know about fighting for stuff, you know? There's some I see out there fighting for the right thing, and I'm like cringing, and it's like in many cases people fighting for the right thing, for the truth, are no different from the side they're fighting. There are some out there that I see that seem to care for America and are giving it a good try, so to speak. I appreciate them. So I mean, it's varying. They vary for me, the examples I've seen. But in this fight, so to speak, like, what is it about, right? Like, is it over gas prices? Is it over Republicans winning elections? Or is it like, what is it about? Like, what is it about? Oh, the civilization of your of people before you, you know, keeping the language, traditions, etc. Is it? And you'll notice that, let's call it an opposing side. I'm using this language. It's just I say this to communicate with all of you, but I personally have my own thoughts on even such a phrase, the opposing side. But you'll better believe that there are those that oppose some things that I don't even know if you're holding on to them that strongly, but some basics that you think would never be challenged. Just the rule of law, the language you grew up with, laws and decency. Look, a number of things. But you better believe that there are those that are, what's the word? That they're pretty positive. They're like, they're against those things and they know it. And they're not halfway about it. They're not playing around about it. They want your way of life gone. Your rule of law. We're going out into the streets to oppose federal law enforcement just doing their jobs. And we're going to oppose them even if you voted for it. We hate you. So they're serious. And they're opposed to your civilization. And they know it. You understand this? So they shot up another person. This person got shot in the leg, though. It wasn't, so they didn't die. But what activated the people to so strongly demonstrate and further let's riot against authority and mandate? What did they do it over? So this guy, an illegal from Venezuela, gets into a car chase. You got to understand this. Gets into a car chase with federal law enforcement officers who were conducting a traffic stop at the time in Minneapolis, okay? The center of all this fraud, the center of this recent fraud investigations, George Floyd, and these ICE riots. There's a little bit here and there. And other places, they're coming up with creative, even legal bills and all that. But we'll get to that. They're doing a traffic stop. They somehow locate Julio Cesar Sosa Celis, whatever. Hey, Sosa, whatever. Let's move on from that. Scarface came up earlier, okay? At some point, Scarface came up, didn't it? Wasn't somebody remind me, like, it's just like a blur. At some point, some black was blaming Scarface for their behavior, right? That happened today? Anyways. It was Scarface. We watched Scarface. Anyways. Whew. It's like, things are never getting better, right? That should black pill you. Don't be black pilled, but, someone calls into the 2025, 2026. It's like, okay, new year. Blacks calling in. Scarface made us do it. Nothing's getting better. So this guy, Julio Cesar, Julius Caesar, the Mexican the Venezuelan Julius Caesar, traffic stop. This individual is in the country. 2022, released into the country. Oh, one of Biden's 10 milli. Sometimes it's hard to even imagine that, huh? To sit around and think just how many came under Biden and what has to be undone, how difficult it is to do it the other way. And I just know it has to be done. I appreciate the president. In my opinion, the administration has started the right things. I mean, first president in like 50 plus years that's resided over net negative, foreign people, etc. So they started this in the right moves. From my standpoint, I just know it has to be done. So where was that? They attempt to arrest this guy, and he flees. He flees in his vehicle. He starts a chase, folks. Huge chase. Crashes into a parked car. Starts running it on foot. Somewhere nearby somewhere around this time, they catch up to this guy. They're on the ground. They're tussling on the ground. This guy's fighting them. This guy's literally fighting them. Crashing his car after a police chase, crashing his car into a parked vehicle. 2 people come out of nowhere, allegedly from a nearby apartment, as it's reported. They begin to attack them with a broom and a shovel. Somehow, Julio Cesar Sosa, gets his hand on one of these brooms/shovels, not sure which one, begins attacking the officer who, upon fearing for his life, shoots this guy in the leg in a defensive shot. Let me show you the poor illegal running for his life, scared, terrified. In the ambulance, by the way, as post shooting, as you can see here, he is very, very scared for his life, his family, and all that, I'm sure. In an ambulance being treated, right, in the country that's decided to show him charity, because what other reason is he here? For real, on a real note, what other reason is he here? Maybe he's an engineer. Nick, are you related to him? There we go. The cousins in the chat. Okay, he's clearly of a more Afro Latino variety than I. Come on, guys. Okay. He's clearly got more of a kink to his hair. If he had long hair and was a woman, might have those like Dominican pasty. You know what I'm talking about when they paste the little baby hairs to their forehead? You know, like that's like all flat, and then it's like swirls. I think they designed that. I think they do that. I think they designed that. They make those swirls. I thought that happened naturally. I thought that happened naturally. I saw a video, and the girl's like designing the swirls. Okay, so hey, this stuff's work. But look, I'm just telling you, on my expertise, my genetic expertise, my cultural expertise here, and I'm imparting this knowledge to you. Okay, I guess that might be a cousin. That's fair. That's fair. I accept it. Nick getting rage baited. No, I accept it. I'm a doormat. I accept it. That could be a cousin. Let's be real. Let's be real. Yep, Nick, you could look like sisters. We're going to get to calls 888-775-3773. Someone's asking me if I'm Sicilian. Why does that make me laugh? That's something came up about that earlier, didn't it? Nick is a snow Mexican from Scarberia. Shout out. Scarberia. Shout out. So where were we? Isn't Nick a Mexican? He's smiling, treated in the ambulance of this country that he's decided to be in. Now, let's move it on here a little quicker because they're out there, right? They were doing a little mess last night. Again, let me remind you, over what? They are positive about what they're out there for, etc. This is apparently him. He's got different looks, kind of like the Anchor Baby. And also kind of like criminals, which is like not a good thing. That's not why I've had different looks over the years. Okay. That's actually, this is the same guy, apparently. Is this the same guy? Wait. Yeah, it's the same guy. Oh, no. Those were the three that were attacking. Yeah. These are the three men. I was like, what? These were the three that attacked the outright. So he crashes his car, and then some nearby apartment produces two other dudes that start attacking. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that he's not dead or something, right? That's not me wishing that. It's just, in what world? They're just attacking armed and officers, and he sits in the ambulance smiling like he just won something. But where were we? Look, these people on the streets, they're ideologically opposed. What's the word here? Look, they're just opposed to your way of life. You're just decent world. You're just basic rule of law. They're totally activated against it. You understand?
His eyes, they're the real mayor. They're fucking racist.
The law literally does not matter. You
The
understand
real
this?
criminals, his eyes, they're the real murderers. I mean, we don't have nothing to fend with. We don't have guns. They have the law protecting them. What do we have? What are they scared of? Why are they killing people? Why are they shooting people? We have nothing to fend with.
What brought you out here tonight? Are you part of one of the community
Because it's another person shot. They're killing people. They're killing people. They're killing my people just because
It's so matter of fact to her. They're killing my people.
their skin color. Even if we're citizens, they don't care.
They're killing us because of the skin color. How do you become so stupid? Because she's actually smart in the, like, what's the word? In the opposition. You would see her, what's the word? It's like, it's stupid to someone who's like, well, I care about the things she doesn't care about. Right? If you still think she cares about the things you care about. She doesn't. Nick's uncles. She doesn't. They're cool. They're cool with fighting of law enforcement, shooting at them, whatever it takes. She's like, we don't have guns. You're the government. Like, that makes sense. Girl, shut up. Shut up. You guys are going nuts on her. Hey, whoa, back up. Make some space. This is the chat. This is me holding back the chat. They're going off on Torta. Whoa, Torta's crazy. Calm down. Illegal ice torta? Okay, you guys got calm down. Torta, get out of my cut. Okay. Some would accuse me of signal boosting the chat right now. A torta is a sandwich. And a plump woman, corpulent, large, rotund. So they're talking about coming down hard, and then we'll get to calls right after this. Because this is like the sort of point, I guess, because you're familiar with them going off. The news was this person got shot, but then kind of like the extra news is flirting with the Insurrection Act. Mr. President, he's considering. Okay, hold on. Fox News. Let me in. So he's considering the invoking what? The Insurrection Act in Minnesota if agitators keep attacking federal officers. And this thing's loading. It's loading. Trump threatens to invoke Insurrection Act in Minnesota. Yeah, Insurrection Act. I mean, that lets him just do. That lets him deploy National Guard units domestically. And because like the states have, I forget, but the states I believe have like a National Guard, and you can federalize that. But the point is that it lets the president call an emergency and start putting his federal law enforcement to deal with things, right? In an emergency. This emergency is rioters impeding the lawful actions of ICE, harassing them, following them, attempting to dox them, attempting to do a number of things. And there's been calls for, hey, Trump, these ICE people, they need backup. I've been hearing this call from different sides, different places. These people need backup. These people need backup. So send them the guard. This might be it. This Insurrection Act and all that. But, I mean, it's just talk right now. I just don't know what should happen, right? But when I see some of these scenes, them going right up to the ICE officers, stopping and blocking their car, they'll be like, get out of your car, get out of your car. And then they eventually leave. I'm seeing far too many scenes of people who should be, like, arrested, beyond arrested. There's got to be, and every single one of these people should be. So that's just the Vive scene. People who should be, like, prosecuted, arrested on a big time. So I'm wondering if they got the right backup. They're acting crazy out there now. These are the scared people trying to defend their neighborhoods. They're afraid of law enforcement, masked law enforcement. They're gonna just come down on brown people. They're descending on brown people. So that is why my community is going to break into a locked safe in what seems to be allegedly unmarked ICE law enforcement vehicles. And we're going to take your rifle and ammunition. We're going to take your AR platform rifle. We're going to jump in like animals.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to identify this guy who stole this FBI rifle.
My God.
We're going to jump in like animals. Bullets. Somebody said bullets. And someone said, sheesh. They're taking all the little, look, like animals. They're just taking everything. Look, there's like patches. You wonder where he got those. Maybe he earned those, or I don't know what it is. But we're taking those too. Taking the patches. Man, it's only one patch guy. I'd be like, yo, share the patches. All right, buddy. That's enough patches for one guy. Come on. I don't condone any of this. I'm just making jokes. If I were some sort of leftist loser out there,
tourniquet there.
I support ICE. We need more ICE, not this. But But yeah, it's time for the Insurrection Act. I don't know. I'm just me on my side, right? Like I trust Trump handling it. I'm just the guy on this side of things with not a complete view of everything. And all I know is America will die. And you can't let a single more. No, foreign workers. We gotta let a little legal in. I gather the president and this whatever team he has and whatever people are going to come after him are they've got a plan, and it's like we can't just like deport everybody right now. If we snapped our fingers, deport everybody, we'd be in chaos. They're doing jobs, they're doing stuff. Money's coming in. We got to transition maybe. I don't know. I'm just one guy over here. I don't know what the internal nitty-gritty day-to-day decisions are. I just know that they got to like get out, and it will be the end of America. And there's not like time like that. I don't know if we have time like that, but so where are we with this? Look. They're coming down on him. What am I disavowing? What are you guys telling me to disavow? I don't disavow ICE. But, thinking it's like, again, I'm not there with the day-to-day stuff. But I think you got to let them know that they can't do this. It's just not time. You know what I mean? Just me. There can't be any room. They're just surrounding dudes. They have the wrong van. What chaos has Minneapolis plunged into? What a terrible place. You know what I heard? I heard Minneapolis or Minnesota. I heard Minnesota. And you see, this is why I don't know anything. Because in my mind, I'm like, Minnesota, Somalian. I heard Minnesota is one of America's whitest and / is this true, folks? Greatest states, like wealthy and safe. Somebody tell me. I think Minnesota, and I'm stuck, right? I think a little bit of Midwest, and I think a little bit of. Oh no, I think I'm getting something mixed up here. Where's the My Pillow? Where's Mike? My Pillow guy. Where's he from? Mike Lindell. You know where they speak like we're gonna have tacos. Where do they speak like that? Is that Michigan or is that Minnesota? It's Minnesota, right? Minnesota. So I guess in my mind, some of that's there. And that's not Somalian. But I've just been stuck. My mind's been stuck on Somalian, so I just didn't even think of that. I heard it's one of the union's whitest and best of states. So you guys let me know about that, but...
Here you go.
You got the wrong van,
like
buddy.
I said, I don't have to do this. I'm happy to do this.
I don't have to do this. He's telling these people who are accosting him. They're like, are you ICE? Because you're in a van. And you look white. You're white. You're too white. In a van. What's in your trunk? He's telling them, I don't have to show you this, but I'm going to. Man, these people are terrorists.
Here you go. Yeah, like I said, I don't have to do this. I'm happy to do this. That's all. We just got to stop this.
So he's got a lot of camera equipment. I think we can say this isn't
Yeah, I'm not. I tried to tell the first lady.
It looks like someone's trying to defend him.
Nobody believes me. That's all I can do is tell you. I already shot. Listen, first of all, I don't have to do any of that, but I'm kind.
I don't have to do any of that, but I'm kind. I respect what y'all are doing. Yeah. You don't have to respect these people who aren't deserving of respect. These are scummy people.
No. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I just don't understand the job and I don't know how to do it.
Were you here yesterday?
Were you here? They're still bothering you.
I was here yesterday. I can testify that. I didn't recognize him.
No, I appreciate your help. Thank you.
I'm not here to help you.
No,
I think the fact that you're in a vehicle like...
And he's like, this lady who's like, yeah, I don't know, I kind of recognize her, or something like that. It sounded like, she said something, threw something out there to kind of help him. And he's like, I appreciate you helping me. She's like, let me make it clear, I'm not helping you. Yes. Okay, white man. He's like, it's become quite clear he's not with ICE. And she's still like, yeah, well, you're suspicious. And I'm not here to help anyone who even sort of resembles ICE, or that we previously thought ICE was ICE 5 minutes ago, and now we don't. Guess what? We don't like those kinds of people either. Like, these are irrational people who hate society. These are irrational people who hate you, who hate society.
Yeah.
Yes, he was here yesterday. I can testify.
Thank you, he says.
No, I appreciate your help. Thank you.
I'm not here to help you.
I'm not here to help you.
The fact that you're in a vehicle like this at this
I
time.
get it.
The fact that you're in a vehicle like this, that was his crime.
Thank you.
I'm not here to help you.
No,
I think the
understand.
fact that you're in a vehicle like this at this
I
time
get it. But with all due respect to everybody, I can't help but let it drive.
Hearts and minds this. No, wait.
Well, you can. You go rent something else.
Well,
she's like, you could go rent some. I'm repeating this because it's hard to hear, so I'm helping you out a little bit. She's like, yeah, how dare you, drive around in a van like this? You could have rented something else. These people aren't there to be satisfied. They have hell in them, and they're out there because they've been spurred on by that hell. You interact with that, you're just gonna get burned. This is a bottomless pit.
You can. You go rent something else.
Something else. How about? Never mind.
That's not how it works.
This is my business.
I know. This is not how it works. So anyhow, I hope you guys understand. Not here to
He was here with a video camera yesterday. I did see another vehicle with them, but I did see him with a camera.
Press badge when folks are talking on the side?
No. I told them I was with the media.
Okay.
And when people get irate with me, I have no choice to just roll out the window.
I think you gotta understand that people were kidnapped.
You gotta understand what people were thinking.
Well, it wasn't yesterday, because that's what we did the story on. Sorry. Let's just wrap this up, okay?
Man, just with like a manly, emotionless, just a manly, emotionless flipping them off like Trump did, right? Like Trump did. Just emotionless. He was emotionless, right? I mean, look, just get in that car and drive away. Cause look, it's just you can't operate with these people. They're opposed to you to society in a big way. They hate it. There's no what are we gonna talk out here?
Position right.
Look at this one. Look, I see your calls. I'll get to all of you. 888-775-3773. We're just running through some of this. Okay. We love this guy, right? Jacob Fry, I hear. Okay. Am I tripping? I thought I heard him say Frey. Jacob Fry. The one true king of the Somalians. Photo live finish Frey. He's the madman that could do it, defeated the Somalian Omar Fateh to become the king of the Somalis. He did it. This behind him is, I believe, he's like the Minneapolis police chief. He's the same guy, by the way. He's pretty much a libtard too. Let me get this guy right. Minneapolis police chief. Because remember, this is the guy who was standing in front of all those Somalians in that video where he was like almost in tears saying, I'm going to protect you, Somalians. I'm here for you, Somalians. I'm like, wow. I thought this was Minneapolis. But no, the chief is here for you, Somalians.
Imagine if that city.
Watch the Somalian simp chief in the background. Watch his face as the king of the Somalis, Jacob Frey, basically starts saying some spicy things about local law enforcement literally fighting ICE, and how his people want him to do that. Just look at the guy in the back's face. Just watch.
Imagine if that city or that town was suddenly invaded by thousands of federal agents that do not share the values that you hold dear. Imagine if your daily routines were disrupted. The local cafe that you eat at was shut down because they're scared that their own family might get torn apart. Imagine if schools shut down and suddenly parents got to figure out what to do for daycare.
You're like, wait, was that the clip? Wait, no. Hold on. So yeah, there's more to it. Hold on, I got it for you. So you're listening to this guy, right? You're like, yeah, that's the mayor. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Okay, you're listening to the guy. So far, so good. Yeah, imagine if these terrible things. In fact, it's happening. This guy in his head is thinking, yes, it's happening right now, actually, Jacob. So what are we going to do about it, Jacob?
And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors.
Did you see his face? So he's listening to him. He's like, yeah, and imagine for a moment these people that just came into your homes, into your communities, and he's listening. He's like, Jacob, that's happening right now, man. My man, my dude. And he's sitting there, he's listening to him. He's like, okay, well, Jacob, what are we going to do about it? We're going to fight. People want me to fight ICE in the streets. Eyebrows go up.
That are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors.
What?
We cannot be...
Yeah, we didn't sign up for that. Hold on. You're seeing this, right? Not just me. I'm thinking he's reacting to that. The timing.
Fight ICE.
Look at those eyebrows. Look at the eyebrows of the guy in the back.
To fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors.
What?
We cannot be at a place right now in America.
He's like, I didn't sign up for that. Hold on. I thought we were just doing a little lip service. You're the king of the Somalians, and we're going to laugh it up in the background like, okay, we got the votes. We're maintaining and holding on to power cravenly. Who cares about the people of Minneapolis? We got to hold on to power, right? I thought that's what we were doing, right? I didn't sign up to fight federal law enforcement in the streets because, that's actually serious. I really don't know how that's going to go down. Yeah, inciting civil war. I mean, this is Insurrection Act at 101. I think, go, if you ask the anchor baby, right? In my world, I'm like, yeah, bust down the door and arrest this guy. But maybe some constitution would be mad at me. Hey, I'm not a politician. I'm just calling it like I see it. But again, do you see this? It's like the move was, hey, the guy in the back's like, hey, the move was we're gonna like sing the we're gonna sing the Somalian songs. You're gonna eat the Somalian food. That was tough, but you did it. Thank you if you remember that, Jacob. He's like really trying to get through some Somalian food, which might be delicious. I don't know. I've never had it. Watching Jacob eat it did not make me want to eat it, but hey, that's what this guy was thinking. It's like, we're just going to eat a little bit of Somalian food. We're going to sing the song, dance the dance. We're going to maintain power. Now we're fighting ICE agents in the streets. This got crazy. But yeah, it seems like it is really coming down like from the political class and establishment, Democrat establishment, even if there may be some internal eyebrow raising like, what? I didn't say that. You better believe that there's this top-down thing coming from it. I'm really seeing this all come from the media, politicians first. And they're like, go out there, go in their faces. Tim Walton out there, go in their faces, film them. Because and then he gives you his justification, because they're committing crimes and we need a database so that we're going to, legally prosecute ICE agents that are doing their job. It's insane. But yeah, I'm seeing these politicians. Now, it's like, I say politician. I say U.S. representative with a big asterisk. This guy's one of the best examples of just the sorry state of what voting and representation is in the country. I mean, and that's not to say he doesn't represent anybody. I mean, I think he does. You'll hear him talk and you'll realize he does, and that is the problem. But this guy who could barely speak English, is like, yeah, I'm introducing bills to undo, or what is it, to abolish ICE.
And we must reform ICE.
Reform.
But it looks at this stage, folks, ICE is beyond reform. ICE is totally out of control. And this week, I intend to introduce a bill to abolish ICE. We need to make ICE.
What are you saying, dude? Say that again.
Go away.
Go away.
2003. Before 2003, without
get it out.
ICE.
Dude, get it out.
We need to make ICE go away.
Oh.
2003.
What?
Before 2003, without ICE, various federal agencies were able to take care of business, and we can do this without ICE. But we do not need the...
Okay, I'm gathering what you're saying, but that was a little disjointed. Come on, folks. Like 2003, you just threw that out there in the middle of...
Murderers, we...
I'm having trouble following Shri, but...
Do not need this paramilitary organizations, members on our street terrorize us, and we must.
We must. How does a country get to... Oh, anyways. Yeah, so you see there... This guy, what is this guy? Get out of here. This guy should not be in politics. He's having trouble getting that out. But I do play this because, again, understand these people, they are not halfway about what they're saying. They want to abolish ICE, okay? We should be abolishing what? Well, there's probably plenty we should be abolishing that Trump should be abolishing like right now. Just abolishing it, like stripping the government, letting them call him dictator and stuff like that. They do not care. But not only they don't care about your rule of law and all those things, but on top of that, they're also serious, right? Like, let's abolish ICE. Let's not have any qualms about it. Let's not play around. Let's introduce bills. Let's use the standing as a U.S. representative and the support I have. Let's use it all of it. Let's use all of it in an attempt to abolish ICE. Why? So, because you don't want illegals deported. It's like, how dare they deport illegals? That's where we are. Before, it was more of a conversation. It was more like, no, you don't understand about how Americans going to do those jobs, and those are families. No, now it's abolish ICE. Why? We're opposed to ICE. We're opposed to people being deported. We've won. We've infiltrated. I'm now a U.S. representative, Sri Tanadar. I got my Indians backing me up in POCs. We hate white people. We're here now. We're just going to be open with it. Abolish ICE. We don't want people deported. That's us. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's a little crazy Thursday here. Just running it down with some crazy Thursdays. You guys are liking the clips. But let's break it up just a little bit, okay? I'll leave you with this one.
Anything.
Before we get to Ohio here. I mean, some people do think it's a joke, right?
I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything, sir.
Ma'am.
I'm not doing anything, sir.
I've already told you.
I'm not doing anything.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
I need you to unlock the door.
Okay, we already
Roll
spoke
down
about
the
this,
window.
sir. I'm not doing anything to y'all.
Unlock the door.
I'm not doing.
Roll down
They
the
wanna.
Yes.
Break the windows. And this tow truck over here came over here too. I don't even know.
Just unlock the door and step
Sir,
out.
I'm not gonna do it because
Unlock the
I'm not
door
doing nothing
and
to
step
y'all.
out. Yes, you are at this time.
I told you. No, I'm not.
You are not listening.
It's not about that.
I already told you.
No, sir, it's not that. I'm not doing anything to
Yes,
y'all.
you are.
No, I'm not.
You are not listening to me.
I am, sir.
You're not free to go. You're not free to drive away.
Okay, I understand that,
You're
sir.
obstructing. The car has to be towed.
No,
So
it
you need to
doesn't.
step
No,
out.
no, it doesn't, sir.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
I do not have to. No, in fact, I don't have to follow.
No,
the
I'm
law.
like, yeah.
Oh, come on. She got the pig squeals there. We should make a metal song, lady. She got the pig squeals there. Ice agents, ice agents. Wait, I used to be able to pig squeal. Like I like a fake pig squeal, like a you could, for those who listen to that kind of music, others don't know what I'm talking about. You could inward inhale to pig squeal, kind of like that's the cheap way. But if you could exhale and pig squeal, it's like, okay, you were you be screaming that screamo. But you don't need that. You just need her. But here's the crazy thing. Like, I don't know what happens after this. They're like, she quickly finds out. The comments are like, yeah, we got her. Like, if this person has not been, like, seriously, like, arrested and, like, charged in a big way, this is not a win. It's not a win at all. They're, like, emboldened. And so it seems to me, as a person, from my vantage point, it's a problem you could fix. Embolden people. I guess, what am I talking about there? I'm talking about, like, what? Cracking down on people, but I guess I'm happy that's not my job, having to navigate such a thing. Mr. President, please come down on them. Listen to me, the Hake Report. Listen to me. Come down on them harder. Anyways, folks, 888-775-3773. We got Art out of Ohio, sir. What's on your mind, man? Welcome to thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Nick, you know the rules. It's big Art in this mother lover.
That's
Don't
true.
look at me crazy, because, baby, I ain't with the mother suckers.
And now I know this.
And now you know.
Welcome, sir.
Hey, already. So check this out. Tell Brother Hake, hold up. Tell Brother Hake, put them bags down. Don't you packing them bags too early, sir. Come on, go over there and sit across, because we got some deep stuff to get into a conversation about that we're going to have to probably bring up on the Hake Report tomorrow. So I'm gonna need Hake to go ahead and pull up his chair, comb his hair in the background, make sure he good. I like his shirt too. So first thing first, Nick, my brother, go ahead and drop a load on him and pull up Ayanna Presley, the bald-head chick.
I remember Ayanna.
Or she I think she's on the news channel. Yeah.
Ayanna.
Okay, so yeah, okay. So first we're gonna go. So if Artie Art was to go to say, man, that's hypothetically. And, y'all, I want y'all to make sure, because I don't want y'all to think that Artie Art is attracted to nothing that look like that. So we're going to clear that up. I'm just using this as an example. So I don't want the chat to switch on me, be like, we hate Art. Don't never let him call in. He said that weird stuff. Nah, don't do that. Calm down, people.
If there's one thing that'll make them turn on you, it might be this one.
It might be this one. So wonder if, we was having a conversation, and I'm like, man, Ayanna Presley, that is the finest thing I have ever seen in my life. You would probably look at me and be like, man, Artie Art be around them dump truck HOEs. You see what I'm saying?
No.
You'd be like, man, what he looking at, man? What Art must like dudes or something. You see what I'm saying? That's what you would think. If I came out my mouth and told you she looked good, you'd be like, Artie Art must like something. We need to check Artie Art's temperature. Bam. So,
especially if you're
girl,
like, I'm particularly attracted to her when she looks away. The back of her head.
For sure. Something ain't right about that.
Right. Okay, I'm following.
So now let me go ahead. I'm gonna circle this Oregon Trail wagon wheel back around our campsite. So, bam. and I'm gonna try to lower the cookies for the slow kids. So, bam, you see that chick on that video, and you know this the foreigners. Period. They be screaming, Oh, I'm scared. ICE and this and ICE and that. Oh, they're stormtroopers and this and this and this and that. When people like me, we know that ain't what they are. We know they're enforcing the law. But for that foreigner, they don't understand it. Now I'm looking at y'all like y'all came from Mexico because y'all said y'all was scared of the terrorists or whatnot. Y'all don't even know what to be scared of. Y'all scared of the people that y'all want to save y'all. So am I reverse that? So I'm thinking in the back of my head, was y'all really scared of the cartel or whatnot, or the African whatever they might have been doing to y'all in Africa? Because y'all scared of the people that's the good people in America. Feds is supposed to be the good people. How are y'all scared of the people that's supposed to be enforcing the law that y'all coming over here to be a part of because y'all fleeing y'all's country because y'all allegedly scared of the cartels? So I'm saying that to say that y'all don't even know what to be scared of, let alone to where I'm like, well, do you have a legit reason to say that y'all was scared of the cartel? Or in my logical mind, I'm already knowing y'all really ain't scared of the cartel. Y'all just really coming over here to take advantage of the free money and the socialist agenda that the Democrats have, you know, been incentivizing y'all to come over here to grab. It ain't that y'all scared of the cartel. You see what I'm saying? Totally. And they don't understand. And what I'm saying with that female that just got pulled out the car and the other foreigners is y'all basically, the liberals are basically destroying y'all's reason for coming over here because y'all looking like hypocrites. You see what I'm saying?
Totally.
So now y'all saying that y'all came over here because y'all was fleeing the cartel. We know that ain't true because if y'all was scared of ICE, y'all would be going back to, if y'all so scared of ICE, y'all would just be fleeing back to Mexico, but y'all ain't scared of them. Y'all just want to be over here. Bam.
That's such a good point, Art. Yeah, because look, the whole thing too is that part of this whole illegal immigrant conversation is this idea that we're supposed to, they kind of just shove it down like, hey, don't you know? I mean, they're fine people. They're fine people. They're not, and fine, maybe some are criminals, etc. But those are, because that you'll hear them say this too as a criticism to ICE. You're supposed to be only going for the criminals, but all I see is ICE is going after mothers and fathers. And here's the thing, to drive your point home, this conversation over decades is this debate over the model immigrant and how they're great here, right? Mm-hmm. But yet we see them on the streets defending the exact same criminality they supposedly ran from. So they're really no different from them. They're like, no, these ones are good. Deport the criminals, etc. No, but the criminals are coming over. Look, they're in the streets supporting the criminals.
Yep, and they support the same element that they were allegedly fleeing from. But what I'm saying is y'all wasn't fleeing from no alleged any entity. How would y'all know? Y'all don't even know the difference between what's the good boys and the bad boys over in America. Because how do I expect you to know what's the good and the bad in Mexico? Allegedly.
It sounds like they are the bad. And here's another thing too.
Exactly.
To drive it home, go ahead. To add to what you're saying. Another hypocrisy is when we see them out there conducting interviews with CNN, etc., saying F ICE, and we're so scared. They're so scared that they're on a local / national news publication, right? Plastering their face on cameras, openly defying and hating, and at times sometimes openly threatening with violence. Law enforcement. You're telling me these are scared people? These are not scared people.
Exactly. Preach, Nick. You got it. You with me? That's crazy. You said that you already got what I'm laying down or whatnot. So my next thing is, let me try to remember what I was about to say. My next thing was that. So the RICO Act is when 3 or more people are conspiring to commit crimes or something. That's a federal charge. What is taking the Fed so long to get these people out there protesting? Because we already know they're allegedly the Antifa or whatnot, and they've been conspiring over wire or over internet phones, all of that. That's a whole nother charge, another crime. So why are we not arresting these people? These people should have been arrested as soon as Trump got into office. You see what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is these are already laws. The people that's down there protesting, you know most of them is Antifa.
Yeah.
You know most of them Antifa and the
Like
BLM
all of them.
Yeah,
They're on
most
camera.
of them.
They should be rounded up and arrested and shown.
Well, hold up.
Please
well,
go ahead.
Well, y'all could doing this through communication, through Reddit and all these little underground things or whatnot, which is you hiding it, which means that you know what you're doing is wrong or whatnot. And I'm just trying to figure out why RDR got to be playing the feds and trying to tell people how to do their job when they already know it. These are the same charges I used to duck when I used to be out here in the street, making sure that I moved a certain way or whatnot so I didn't catch no RICO charges or whatnot back in the days or whatnot. So if I'm knowing this and I'm already knowing how the game goes, why am I have to explain to the American people stuff that everybody already knows? Ain't nobody new. This ain't unfamiliar ground. Everybody done heard of what RICO is. So I'm just trying to figure out what is taking so long for us to get all these white Karens and these BLM big fat black
lesbians.
Females out lesbians out the way. I'm trying to figure out what's the whole hold up with all this or whatnot. That's what I'm getting at.
I'm following. Yeah, you're saying like you see for you personally, there's beyond a justification for even actually more action. Despite the current talk right now is that they're being too tough. They're being hard on them. They got to chill out. You're actually saying you see a justification for much tougher action, and you're waiting to see it.
Yeah, it should. It's way more. And this is really beyond a RICO charge. This is really beyond a RICO. Thank you, Nick. This is really beyond a RICO for the simple fact that you don't because we know that we have terrorists in Minneapolis, known terrorists. It's just a matter of catching them. You see what I'm saying? Cartels already done been made known as labeled as terrorists or whatnot. We already know they in Minneapolis. Antifa. So when I'm saying all these three, I'm just trying to figure out what is the holdup to where the laws that are supposed to be enforced or whatnot ain't being enforced or whatnot. And truth be told, why is Fry and your boy Tim Waltz still? What I'm looking at is that Tim Waltz is like the father of the Minneapolis kids or whatnot, and Tim Waltz is basically not keeping his kids in line. So then he's forcing another man to come into his house and basically whoop and get his kids in line. So bam, what I'm saying is he is responsible for all of his kids. So bam, Nick, if you got your kids and they out here running around in the middle of the night without no supervision on the school night past 12 o'clock and they get into something, you're responsible for them. They've been literally over the last few years, they've been trying to hold the parents responsible when they kids be. When I'm basically saying, why is Tim Waltz not in jail? All this is happening up under him. Why is this Fry dude not in jail? If they ain't getting on the TV saying anything besides y'all need to take y'all's butt inside the house, I don't want to hear nothing else. The conversation, if he ain't saying anything besides that, he needs to be in jail. This is beyond talking, man. This is ridiculous. Second thing is, it's the difference between protesting, man. This ain't nothing about no dang on protesting. You protesting to protect terrorists? That's the difference. Protesting is when with the civil rights and stuff. This ain't no dang on protesting. Y'all protesting to overthrow the government in front of the American people, and the news is helping them with it. That's what I'm saying. Like these ain't they labeling stuff racist. It ain't racist. Protest. It ain't protest. These ain't protests. And then the sad part is
they're following agents. They're following them. That's not a protest.
Yeah. And the sad part is that you water it down. Now everything is racist. So when something is racist, i.e. you flooding the border and misplacing whites and misplacing blacks, the 13th and 14th Amendment was made for, that's racist. They ain't saying nothing about that. Then when you got people like me trying to say something about it, don't nobody want to hear because you thinking that, he's one of these old pro-blacks because the liberal, lesbian, pro-BLM, they don't distorted the word the same way that they distorting the protest word. And then at the end of the day, 5-10 years where they're going to end up making them change laws that's going to end up going against basically saying we can't protest, which I think they need to do because I'm getting tired of seeing. I don't want to see I'm about to be 40. I don't want to see no more protests.
We just have to properly. We have to just be serious about those terms and stuff. I think a serious country would be able to see what you're saying. A serious cut, you would know that following agents around is not a protest. That's not a protest.
Yeah.
We're not, and arresting those people would not be infringing the rights of a protester or the
Preach.
Constitution or any of that. It's not that at all. It's just,
Preach.
and then put them in jail and ignore anybody saying that.
Thank you. Preach. That's all I'm saying, man. Go ahead and get them up out of here. But that's pretty much. I try to, and I talk fast like that because I mess around and get the and forgetting everything. So I'm trying to, But man, that's pretty much all I had to say.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you for your time.
Thank
I'll
you,
be
Art.
with you.
Good topics, man. Call me again, sir.
Gotcha.
888-775-3773. Yeah, what was he saying there? I'm too old to see these protests. That's it, America. I've reached a certain age. You're not allowed to protest anymore. I'm far too old. Your rights to protest are being taken away. And you know what? I support that. It should be that only if they should change it back to where, voting was way more, who was allowed to vote. I mean, there was just a lot more discrimination concerning that. And not even how you think. Okay? Oh, just a racist, just see skin color. No, it's not like that. It's deeper. More rational than that. But they were a lot more scrutinizing, okay, with who was allowed to vote. Bring it back to that, and then only those people are allowed to protest. What do you guys think about that one? Heavily discriminate again in voting, right? You gotta have. It's not just like you just get to vote. No, it's a responsibility. You gotta have some skin in the game. There's gotta be some proof here. You gotta, that's how they used to do it. And then only those people are allowed to protest. Is this just protesting? Excuse me, officer? I'm just protesting, officer. Swearing inbound, by the way. Cussing is incoming. Officer, I'm just peacefully protesting, okay? Don't tread on me, officer.
This agent ever run up on me, I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window.
Officer, don't tread on me. I'm just protesting. I'm just using my constitutional rights, officer. How about you don't tread on me, okay? I'm just I'm a free person. I'm a free man with the God-given rights to not have my government trample all over me. And that's what I'm doing right here.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, Safe line replace. That's what's going to happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, fuck around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants.
That's so silly.
I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and it needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't going to act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means them shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are going to legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of.
Yeah, they should come down on this guy hard.
The public. They should be fearful that the public is going to be
And make an example of him.
dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people would do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucker.
So let's have a debate. Hey, man, let's just have a debate, okay? And then let's have an election. Which, by the way, those are things I like. Those are things I approve of. I appreciate. It's kind of the only political action I support personally. Yep.
The public, they should be fearful of the public.
Just running it through, folks. What a mess. They got the juggalos out there. You caught that? You saw the ICP? Shout out to the... Do we have any juggalos here? Any juggalos or juggalettes? Watch the American Anchor Baby. Shout out to you. No judgment. I hope this... Yeah, Trump kidnapped this guy. Have him be eating dinner and then swoop in with Delta Force and Maduro this guy. That's what I voted for. I know, this whole, like, they shot an unarmed woman. What does that mean? What does that mean? You know, an unarmed woman. That means that that person should have been allowed to do whatever they want. What we're opposed is not, what these people oppose is not unlawfulness and all that. They oppose the law as it stands. They oppose America. They oppose, it's all white supremacy to them. They oppose the law. They just see you as being unlawful perspective. They oppose the law. Tomb Jesus might personally know juggalos. And you know what? I too have had many a not Fanta, Fago. You guys are saying Fanta. It's Fago. The international juggalo drink. I wasn't a juggalo, but there was a convenience store where I was growing up. All it had was Fago. And maybe that was a juggalo-run convenience store in Canada, but I don't know what to tell you. You know, you guys got it. You guys got the details. You guys are absolutely on it. My chat is like on it with all the points and details. It's true. A vehicle is a weapon. Unarmed. Unarmed. You want to talk about unarmed? You know what? On that thing, because it's come up over the weeks, and I understand, right? And we've now seen all the angles, and a lot of people are thinking, hey, you know what? Even if they initially thought, I don't know, in fact, or it's actually not a justified shoot, they're seeing that final angle with the cop basically getting hit. People are confirming, CBS, others confirming he had like internal injuries. And they're saying, you know what? Yeah, this is pretty clear now. She was acting out of control. And, you know, they got herself killed. But I was thinking it was like a good shoot, so to speak, from the get-go. And not because I didn't have the same questions from certain angles that many of you had. Okay, I didn't have like a special view than others. It's just that even back with George Floyd, I knew it was fine from the get-go because of the surrounding circumstance, which is George Floyd fighting with a cop, okay, and acting erratic and all that. This Renee Good, confrontation, right? Confronting law enforcement, non-compliance. Do you understand how you forfeit your life well before, like, in a non-compliant scenario than most people think? And so if even if I had some of the questions you guys had over Derek Chauvin and even Renee Good, having those questions did not at all change my conclusion about how these people got themselves in those situations. You understand what I'm saying there? So yeah, the details, we were waiting for the details and all that, which is fine to do. But I knew from the get-go Renee Good put herself in a confrontation with armed law enforcement and did not comply. So whether she really did, no, you understand, she really did what she really was, just trying to drive away. Even if you could even if there was like another, in a parallel universe where it was way clearer that she was driving away. That's not, that you forfeited your life acting that way around the law enforcement like that. That's just obvious. Okay? Like, duh.
Create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans. Not
get out there in their faces. Do it.
Take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans. Not just to establish a record for posterity, but to bank evidence for future prosecution. Take out.
That's so weird how this has to be like, what else is this than just a big like death throw? You know what I'm saying? Like
Let me.
So they find out massive fraud, like massive fraud in a state. Just massive fraud. And the mayor, the governor, politicians, representatives, and the Somalian community accused of this massive fraud and their representative all together, all at once, suddenly start screaming at the top of their lungs, racist, why leave the Somalis alone? It's like, when you look at it from a little bit of a vantage point, right? Isn't that just like very, very guilty behavior? You know what I mean? Now, as it stands, no one is, Tim Walz is not, for example, charged for this corruption. And I know Art was saying, why not? Why not? I mean, as it stands, it is being investigated officially. So we're talking federal probes from the U.S. Attorney's Office, the FBI, the Treasury Department. Besides the already 70-plus charged in the Feeding Our Future scam, there's an oversight committee. That's that James Comer. They'll say it's partisan, it's Republicans. But there's some pretty official stuff coming from different directions here. So, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I don't know. Walz was overseeing it. He was running things. As it stands, they're not denying that there was fraud, but they're saying, yeah, that's fraud. Individuals committing fraud. That doesn't mean the government. And a lot of these people are being investigated. Federal money coming in for some of these programs has been totally stopped. But everything but saying that Tim Walz officially has been involved with this has been said. But it is being officially investigated in a big way. So I wonder what will come from all that. I got to say, it looks like I see a little fear. I don't know if that's just me, but I see wide eyes and fear. Like, these racists, I can't believe these racists. Just leave us alone. They're just being so racist. Please leave us alone. Please don't investigate anything. Too racist, right? Please. All wide-eyed. I don't know. I'm sensing tension, like major tension. Right?
I ask you about the leadership in your state. Dozens of people in Minnesota have been charged and convicted with stealing millions of dollars of taxpayer money for government programs. Do you think Governor Walz did enough to stop the fraud in your state? And do you support his decision not to run for re-election?
Well, look, Governor Walz is the reason that we've got paid family leave in Minnesota. He's the reason we've got free school lunches. Him and I, we've been through thick and thin.
But did he do enough to combat fraud,
over these
Mayor?
last 5
Did he do
years?
enough to combat fraud?
Look, obviously, everybody could have done more to prevent fraud, and I think that's a fair point to make. Do more to prevent fraud, and you look what he's doing right now. He's setting up a whole bunch of infrastructure to do that. And
Somebody quickly stop him from setting up infrastructure. Get his hands off the infrastructure. Don't give him any more chances. Hey, whoa. Oh, suddenly someone else uncovered all this fraud. And Governor Tim Walz was like, you're right. Let me set up hey, look away. Let me set up some infrastructure. We'll make sure that never happens again. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't know, folks.
By the way, look, the fraud's real. We've all got to acknowledge it. The fraud is very real. And by the way, when somebody commits fraud, and there are many that have done that, you investigate it, you charge, you prosecute, and you put the person in jail. As an individual, you put the person in jail as an individual. You do not hold an entire community, any community, accountable for the actions of individuals.
But that's what the investigation's for, sir. That's the whole point of the investigation. Let's find out which individuals and are they connected, and have they been through thick and thin? Look, I really don't know what's going on. That's why they're investigating it. That's the whole point. So they're investigating it. I don't think my callers know. We don't know. So, but we're watching. We'll see what happens with all that. We'll see. You know, when you see this scene of high schoolers in Minnesota, and Tim Waltz, I must say, there's a big connection. Besides the alleged, now this, they may have been spurred on by Tim Waltz, so there's one connection there. I can't confirm that, but they're alleging that Tim Waltz spurred on Minnesota high schools, and so now Minnesota high schoolers are holding a walkout protest today. That's today. But I want you to look at the high school classes of Minnesota. What do you notice about the student body? What do you notice about the Minnesotan high schooler? Now, these are those that decided to protest and walk out. Maybe there's a bit of a bias here, right? Like, what type of student would walk out and protest? Maybe they're not all doing it. It's hard for me to know. This is either a slice of a particular a slice of the high schoolers of Minnesota, those that decided to be disruptive, decided to protest, decided to side with ICE and side against ICE and for illegals, etc. Or maybe this is actually what the high schools look like. I don't know, but look, they're Somalian. So they're protesting. We're like, ICE out, spurred on allegedly by Tim Waltz. Just it probably didn't need much justification. I can't find anywhere where Tim Waltz told him, "Hey, go out there and protest Minnesota high schoolers." But it's not like I looked that hard. It could very well be something he did. Now that's what these posts are alleging. Tim Waltz welcomed high school students for a walkout in protest of ICE at the state capitol building. So yeah, one thing to notice: the demographics, right? Like this slice of high school. I mean, tells you about. Here's the point, right? I mean, when you're someone like Tim Waltz, when you're someone like Ilhan Omar, when you're like a representative of Minnesota, and let's say you're out of Minnesota and you think, well, how? And you're like looking at some of these scenes like a little bit like, how does this happen? How does this even happen? How do they sell out a state? How do they like sell out a state to the tune of like double the actual GDP of Somalia, the country itself? How does that happen? And how do you get like people that like Jacob Frey and Tim Waltz, and you just look at them, right? You just look at Tim Waltz and Jacob Frey. You're like, I mean, and you compare them to like Omar Fateh, and you're like, on looks alone, like they're just so different. How does someone that looks like Tim Waltz and Jacob Frey end up becoming the kings of the Somalis the way they did, and stuff like that? Like, how does that even happen? And then you look at this, and it starts making sense. You know, they really are serving. They've decided who to serve. You understand? They've decided who to represent. And there's essentially just enough of them for it to be politically expedient. That's really all it is. Okay? You look at a scene like this, and you're Tim Waltz and you're Jacob Frey, and you're like, I found my new people. It's that easy. It's that simple. You look at them and you're like, you know what? These are my people. They're going to elevate. We're going to elevate each other. Call it whatever you want in your head. It's that simple. Okay. It's that simplice. What did the African students, which Nick, some of you are right now cringing like, Nick, those are Americans, maybe. A bunch of those are probably citizens. Which, yeah, you're probably right, regrettably. But what did the African students do? Or African heritage students do out there once they were congregated in large crowds? Uh-oh. Chaos devolved. They devolved into chaos, and not with the state capitol or law enforcement, but with each other. They've devolved into fighting each other. Look. Save them from themselves. Ice out, ice out. Then they just start killing each other. Ice comes in and saves them from themselves. These students they don't even care about your stupid politics. It's just there's a word here. There's a word for just like society ending pleasure, where a moment where you're just looking like ecstasy. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word for people, for a mass of people merely motivated by just like lizard brain thrills and nothing sophisticated. There's a word for that, maybe. They're literally out there just for like the thrill of it, to scream and to shout. It's primitive. Incredible. Yeah, I don't know what it was for, though. I don't know what it was over. I can't answer that question. I don't have that info. I'm not familiar, no. I'm laughing, sorry. I'm laughing at the chat a little bit. Some of you like Jacob. I like him too. I would employ him elsewhere. Nowhere in the contiguous 50 and the contiguous 48. Nowhere would I employ Jacob Frey there, but his skills can come in handy. Anyways, sorry, folks. Chat's amazing. Okay. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, another chat for you. Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, another chat for you. Amazing. Incredible footage on this Thursday. Let's keep it moving, though. Let's keep it moving here. How about this last thing here that's still kind of ICE adjacent? ICE deputy director resigns to run for Congress in Ohio. So, you mean to tell me, so this is how I find out that ICE's deputy director was a woman? Madison Sheehan? Firebrand conservative, I'm sure. Under Trump, some of these, these women just basically operate and follow him. So I think it ends up working out, I think.
Expecting there'll be more.
I mean, this really is just a chance to talk on what is the point of everything? Like, are we debating over like prices of stuff? Because that's something I'm seeing a huge refrain about. It's all over right now. It's got the president's talking about it, affordability. They're putting out the video saying, look, I got you guys, I lowered the gas prices for you, okay? Affordability, I think that's going to be a big topic. I think we're going to see that incoming in a big way because it seems to be an actual topic that Democrats seem to have like numbers on, so to speak. How do I put this? You know, they seem to get some traction on it because it seems to be true in many areas. Inflation and they call it supply chain issues, which have been going on since COVID, I guess, has made aspects of American life expensive. Even though in a moment of circling the wagons for the admin, if I must, I don't know. I'm not paid by them. But it's not like the things. Some things have just kind of stayed the same. They need to be better, sure, but they kind of just stayed the same. Gas prices are amazing if you ask some states. Depends. Not here in California. They're better still. That being said, you know, California props them up, right? But affordability, that's going to be a thing. I think you're going to hear about it a whole bunch. I think they're going to push on it hard, the Democrats and all that, be like, but what has Trump really done for you? And they do it because it works a little. I mean, people even just around me, even Trump supporters, ostensibly, we'll call it ostensibly Trump supporters. You know how it goes. They're around me, people that are ostensibly, you know, supporters of at least, you know, hey, keeping America. The moment someone brings up something about like prices, they're like, yeah, you know what? F that guy. What's he doing for us? You know, what are we really debating here? Are we debating the price of milk? When I see this ICE deputy director female, when I see those people out there, ICE, they're like, hey, we're going to abolish ICE and all that. And you're going to lose the plot over the price of milk. Look, this is like a civilizational thing, no? It's like the end of America, the end of English, the end of Christianity. They're putting women running everything. So, yeah, those are the things that matter. I think Trump's doing it on the right direction here. But there's all sorts of people around him. The GOP, institutions, everything's around him that is still okay with the old way, which is the dying way, right? It's like, so no, I'm not fighting about, I'm not debating about like this affordability stuff. You know, it's stuff like this. How did a woman, right, get to head ICE? And is there anyone right opposed to all that mess? So anyways, folks, where was I? Madison, it kind of has that boxer trans look to her. I was right. She's got that like she's definitely got that like the Lesnar family, right? Like what's your dad? What kind of stock do you come from, Miss Madison Sheehan? What was your daddy like? You know, it's like the Lesnar family. You know, Brock Lesnar. You know, sometimes you just, and it's probably because of your family. You just make them strong. You just make them strong and thick. That's Brock Lesnar's daughter. Is it her name Maya? Maya Lesnar? Yeah, it's like, how do you get that strong look? It's like, yeah, that's your daddy because of your daddy. Who said that? Jim in Alaska kind of has that boxer trans look. So I don't know who Maddie Sheehan's daddy is, but she does have that like shot. She has that shot put girl look. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She has that. She has that like She has that. I did shot put in school. You know what I'm saying? Kind of look. And you know, that was the chat saying trans. Like, I'm commenting more on the tough, not tough, but just a strong look. Okay, not so much trans. Okay, I'm not throwing that out there. Personally, okay, Madison. I disavow such comments. But maybe that's why she was heading it. She's not like other girls. Anyways, speaking on like what are we debating and how so many call them conservatives, Republicans, it's like they just don't. They don't have their head in the game. They're worried about dumb things. Maybe like the price of milk. It's like the society is dying and won't survive. The survival of the society due to demographic replacement. How about that? On that topic, okay, of, I guess, loosely on ideology, so to speak, and the conservatives of today, they're having a little bit of an internal thing with the president. Now, you're familiar with Iran and the heating up and the hot few days that we've had, right? With the protesters in Iran, the strong action coming down on them from the Islamic regime over there, and the president of the United States in a very not insignificant moment where he's saying, hey, to the protesters, help is on the way. Help is on the way. Leaving the world kind of on the edge on what's coming. And our strikes, our bombs coming down Iran, what is coming, right? When you say your help is on the way in Iran, you better not touch those protesters. Had a lot of people concerned, people on the edge. The late night pundits came on and they're like, is war with Iran coming? It is, it's not, it's what's going on. The ladies at the Skim were assuaging all of your fears, telling you, hey, don't worry, regime change is not coming. Some of you are like, what do you even mean regime change? All I heard about was protesters in Iran. And it sounds like they need our help. So here's Mediaite. What the actual F? Conservatives erupt over Trump heel turn on Iran. So what's happened since then is Trump is essentially, because that's what it was, right? They were saying less than 24 hours. Action is probably coming down on Iran. And then what happened? Donald Trump is saying that he's got it on good authority that the Iranians have stopped the killing of its own people. So, you know, it's like, actually, I don't have to do anything. It's looking like I don't have to do anything. Now, and then what happened is a whole bunch of people are actually not too happy about that. And now me, I'm a little bit on this end, right? A little ignorant, like I just don't know. But, you know, you hear about action with Iran coming up, and then you hear the president saying, no, I don't have to do it. I'm like, okay. I'm not upset about that, but a bunch of people around him are upset, which to me kind of like it lends to me some insight as to what surrounds the president. So they're unhappy with him. Much of the president's coalition is up in arms over his heel turn on Iran over the last 24 hours, openly disputing his claim that the Iranian regime has stopped killing its own people. speculation that the assertion is part of a ruse. Earlier this month, Trump pledged to come to the aid of protesters if the regime turned to violence. On Tuesday, Trump renewed his vow, writing, "Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. Help is on its way," he added later that day. Yet, during a Wednesday afternoon Q&A, the president declared that the killing in Iran is stopping and repeated the regime's justification that people were shooting at security forces. Me personally, I'm like, okay, awesome. I hear such thing. I'm like, okay, I'm in a deeper fog of war than everybody else. I'm just the public. I support the president. I think he's, me. I essentially have to trust him on many things. And I do because of who he is. I mean, we've seen him. Now, you ask me personally, Iran is just so far away. It's just so far away. I just don't see the need for much action, at least not deeply. And so when I hear him say, hey, you know what? They're not killing them. We're chilling out. I'm like, okay, so be it. Now, others, not so much. A whole bunch are like, here, let me pull this up. I'm like, no, Mr. President, you don't understand. We have to fight Iran. I'm like, whoa, why are they acting like this? Mark Levin, if the Iranian regime is not slaughtering citizens now, then can we assume they'll turn on all the communications platforms so the world can see? On what authority has informed our government the killing has stopped? I have many more questions. Now, I'm an American citizen here by way of, my parents, my mother abused the birthright citizenship fair and square. And I just don't have these deep concerns like Mark Levin. Here's what I mean. It's like, do I want killing in the world? Well, no, but am I concerned over every nation? And it's like, how are they really slaughtering or not? What are they doing to the Uyghurs in China? And how about over in Nigeria and the Christians? And how about do I want killing? No. But no, I don't have these, I don't have all these questions and I need them answered. Do you? Are you concerned over Iranians slaughtering their people over there to the point that you need action from your government? Personally, I'm not. They're saying there's overwhelming evidence the Iranian regime is slaughtering has not ended. And so this person's unhappy with Trump's assessment. Lindsey Graham is like, every indication that I've seen says the Iranian regime's killing of protesters is still very much in full swing. The death toll is mounting by the hour. Now, before this protest and news of this protest came up, were you personally worried about a mounting death toll in a foreign country like that? What should we do about it? Personally, that's a real question. Why should we do something about that? That's a real question. So when I see these Republican after Republican saying, but the death toll is mounting, I'm not moved. Should I be? What a betrayal this would be. Noah Rothman. Who's this? That's not even anyone I know. Is this a politician? Noah Rothman? Okay, this is not a politician. Okay, but okay. Mediaite. What a betrayal this would be. They're saying, what a historic missed opportunity. Again, I'm not incensed like that. Newt Gingrich, the Iranian dictatorship is not on the verge of collapse. Let me express what I'm trying, because I know what I'm expressing. What I'm attempting to express is kind of off the top. Let me find the words. It's like, why don't these people, why don't they just, these are Republicans. The president is saying what he said. Mark Levin's not a politician, but let's say, for example, Lindsey Graham and Newt Gingrich. The president has, why don't they just, what's the word here? are they really just so? Do they really just so deeply support the Iranian citizens like that way that they're willing to publicly kind of distance themselves from the president, and even I think it's fair to say, maybe even oppose his actions? Is it really that these Republican politicians feel so strongly for this Iranian protesters that why not just go with the president here, right? And it's still, it's like, wow, I feel for those protesters, but I'm a Republican politician for America. The Republican president who was voted in on a big mandate by my constituents has decided this XYZ. Why? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, why do they need to? Ostensibly, it would be that they just care for those protesters so deeply. But if that were true, personally, that's not even a reasonable position. Why are you? If the stated reason is your reasoning, then you're an unreasonable politician. Then you're an unreasonable Republican politician, in my opinion. How is that reasonable? And as like as an individual, like a voting individual, I'm not like what's the word here? Like convinced by this, or that's not like my motivations. The mounting death toll, we got to care about them. That's not really the motivation. Like, there's death all over the world. Bro, just say it. You want to say they are Israel shills. See, that's the thing. You guys are assuming things about me. I'm saying the things that are just obvious to me. That's not obvious to me. You know? So I'm just trying to keep it simple for me, okay? I'm just an anchor baby, okay? I gotta keep it simple for me on what I can say, what I can see. Like, that's not a good reason, don't you think? That's not a good reason for us to care about this. But the death toll is mounting, right? That's not a good reason. That's all I'm saying here. So it seems like these people want something over there, even though Trump doesn't. But anyways, on the stated reasoning here, like just politically speaking, that's not a good reason for Americans to care about this. And that's all I really know. Okay, I don't know some of the things you guys know. Okay, if I say a word, I'll say a word, I'll say some ism, and I now suddenly believe all these things. But I'm not that smart. I don't look all these things up. Chat. Whatever. Can we keep it moving here in the last few minutes of the show? Because they're saying... I mentioned this just the other day, and Oprah latched onto it right away.
All these years.
Check it. I said this the other day. Remember I was talking about food noise? I was unable to pull up the article. I couldn't pull it up there. I was telling you the scientists came up with a funny little term. They've done all this research. They're injecting themselves with this brand new drug. They call it GLP-1. GLP-1. a hormone, okay? You inject it, you slow down your digestion, you want to eat less. Now you're losing weight, you're looking amazing. You're finally losing that weight. You've slowed down your metabolism. You had to slow down your metabolism. And these people, these smart people researching this drug and all that, researching the people taking this drug, they find out, they end up finding out something. They start gathering evidence for something that they're calling food noise. Their reasoning is brain scans of these people taking Ozempic. Turns out they were monitoring them when they would get these urges to eat. And this part of their brain would light up. This part of their brain would light up before like their awareness of it or something like that. They started calling this food noise. They started gathering evidence of this food noise that was appearing in these people that was dampened when they were on this drug. And they're like, that's it. We found it. You see, the reason people overeat is because they get food noise. And here's our solution. Let's just pump you full of a drug that deadens that part of your brain. Problem solved. It's like the scientific community discovered thoughts. It's like they just discovered thoughts. And their solution, no, let's use a drug to kill that part of the brain. Okay, that's fine, right? Oprah's on this right away.
All these years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I shouldn't. All these years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long is it going to take. I thought that was because of me and my fault. Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese. Right. Obesity causes you to overeat. Right. Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise. Yeah. All these years, I thought I was...
She's quieting the noise. Oprah is just quieting the noise. Where was it? I had a better thing on this. I had a bigger thing on this. The liberal media is having a hard time with her claim. Because I think in that like View thing, she even worse than I summarizes the scientific community's findings. And they're not exactly saying you have a obesity gene like Oprah saying. That's something I gather only Oprah made up. They're like, whoa, we didn't say obesity gene. Oh. Human nature. This is what's fascinating to me, though. It's just human nature, right? We always come up with excuses for everything. And we just want to live that way. We want to eat. We want to be, right? We want to overreact. We want to fight. We want to feel like a victim. We want to break up. And I saw this thing they were saying, they were trying to justify this woman getting thin on Ozempic and divorcing her husband, and she's living her best life. And her friends they're concerned for her, but they don't think she's going to go crazy. But they're a little concerned that she just decided to change her life so fast and something like that. And the way they're describing it, like she's just going through a lot of changes, you know, you're just going through changes. No, you got skinny. You got an idea in your head like you're amazing now. You're like, you know what? F this husband, F this family and the kid. It's about me. That's really our whole lives. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't matter the money you have and all that. It's like the same human nature. Are you evil or good? But anyways, I've been hearing myself talk too much, folks. That's enough out of me. That's the American Anchor, baby. I got a fun show for you tomorrow, as we do on Fridays. Don't miss it. Make sure you liked and subscribed. More American Anchor, baby, coming at you tomorrow on a fine Friday. Okay? But folks, take care, okay? Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. You still got some Thursday ahead of you, okay? Don't go to sleep. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. I mean, not enjoy yourselves. It's Thursday, folks. Take care. Have a fine Thursday. See you tomorrow for Open Line Friday, the Fallen State, the Hake Report, and more. I think Hake's got a little appearance later. You might want to check that out on his website. And the ladies, y'all have your forum with Jesse Lee Peterson today. Take care. See you tomorrow. Peace.